Hello, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's get our cup of coffee and start. We continue with the resolution of integral exercises. We have already solved some of them in previous episodes. In this case, we have this example. This example tells us that we have an integral of x plus 5 squared x. The objective is to integrate it perfect. And as a universal rule in this channel, we said that the law is always start with the simplest method and we discard if the simple method is not possible. Okay, we move on to the next and the next, but in this case we have seen up to now has been possible. Integrate with CA rule is u to the n plus 1 between n plus 1. Remember that in order to learn something, whatever practice is needed, and in this case under calculation, mathematics, physics, any subject that requires numbers, perform operations, and want to learn need to practice. They need to write. Then it does not happen nothing to repeat it and write it 1,000 times, because that will help us learn very well. We have the chain rule perfect. We will try to use it very well as meeting the requirements required by the chain rule not to lose the habit. Let's copy here again the integral to make x plus 5 squared by its dx. Very well, the chain rule mentions that we need a u and we need a very good du. For that, we need to check how many terms we have. We have a term, and the dx, we know that it stays with the du. What is the differential? Very well. How we know we have two terms? Only how do we know that all this is a term? Because, well, we mentioned in the previous episode, if you have any questions, you can come by to see it, that this square blocks everything inside the parentheses. It is not possible to separate what is inside the parentheses. X is not possible to separate the 5 because there is that square. We would have to solve the binomial squared. And now let's see if it is possible to separate. Okay, then this is a term and this is another term that will match u. In this case, the second term, we know that it is part of the u. Do not know if it is complete. Very well, then we have only one option left, the option we have left. I am going to delete them. This part of here is the option that we have left as a u, which is x plus 5, x plus 5. When we choose our u. We had said in the previous episodes that the exponent stays outside. Remember very well now the du, the differential. What do we mean by the word differential? We had learned that the differential is the derived from our u. Our u is x plus 5, the derivative of 5. How much is 0? Derived from any number is 0. Perfect, derived from x. What it is, we already know it is dx. Let's check through the mirror. We need a dx only as a differential. We have a dx in our exercise. Yes, perfect. We analyze. We have absolutely nothing left over. No, now we use everything. We use this part of here as of u, which is all we need is a, and this part is ours or ours u and our du. In this case, we make full use of all terms. Remember, we also mentioned it in the previous episode. We have to use everything. We can't absolutely nothing left over. Okay, perfect. We proceed to replace within the formula of chain relay. Which one would become ours, or which one do we take as a x plus 5? And now if we add the square, we would have x more 5 squared. And what does it tell us? The chain rule must be added in 1, and we will divide 2 plus 1. Yes, remember this. 2 is our in, okay? Because that was what we took as ux plus 5. And x plus 5 is to a power, which in this case is the square of the, and that square is our n effect. What would be left to us anyway? X plus 5 cubed between 3 effect, that the bottom part remains pending. In order not to lose the habit, let's put the solution below the exercise we are in that we are being asked for. What would be the solution? Would be x more 5, 2 plus 1, left to the cube between 3. That we lack the integration constant, remembering that always the integration constant is necessary. This would be our solution to the exercise of integrating x plus 5 squared. Correct. I hope everything is clear, that have resolved some doubts. If you have any comments, if you have any new questions that has arisen in this type of exercise, put in the comments. As I always tell you, if you need any advice, any tutoring, more personalized, at the bottom of the video, more information is coming. To give us agree and contact us. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care of yourselves. Practice, drink coffee. See you at the next one.